This week on 3D Printed Soup, rescuing a vintage Slave 1 from Kenner. That's right after this. Hello fellow makers and welcome back to 3D Printed Soup. When I was a little lad, I used to dream about making things. No, that's a Lawyers For You advert. When I was a kid, I always wanted to own Slave 1. It was a Kenner action figure transport device. It was Boba Fett's ship. It was the best part of The Empire Strikes Back and The Return of the Jedi. Absolutely loved that thing. It flew really oddly. It's kind of like flew completely unaerodynamically, blasting itself sideways. It had all kinds of wonderful play features. You had a hand solar in carbonite, so you could chuck him in the back of it. It had sort of a tilting cockpit. It had guns that rotated on the back, and it had these fins at the side that were on gyros, so when you moved it, they tilted as well. And I really, really wanted this thing. My parents bought me the Millennium Falcon. That's the goodish ship. I like the bad guy ships. The same reason why when they bought me the X-Wing, I threw it down the stairs and smashed it because I wanted the TIE Fighter. I may have been a bit of a brat as a kid. But anywho, when I was out on a car boot sale, or swap meet if you're from over the pond, I found a awesome vintage Slave 1. But this thing was sun damaged. See picture below. It had loads of bits missing. It had the ramp missing. It had the side door missing. The cockpit was smashed in. One of the guns was missing and one of the fins was missing. But hey, I'd seen on several different 3D printing websites that a guy had created all the files for the missing pieces. So I thought, you know what, using 3D printing and modelling, I can make this thing whole again and save it from the scrap pile. I was a little bit wrong there, but we'll go into that later. But in the meantime, I'm going to 3D print these parts off and I'm going to basically rebuild and make Slave 1 into the wonderful ship that it used to be from the horrible sun-bleached disaster it started off as. Before I do that, however, thanks to everyone who's liked to subscribe. We are so close to 1,000 now, I can almost taste it. We are 15 or 16 away, depending on people who keep liking and subscribing and then unsubscribing. Please don't unsubscribe. It costs you nothing and it hurts my heart. But yes, please, if you haven't subscribed, drag your cursor around, click on the red button, and there you go. Consider yourself trapped in carbonite. Don't click that button again, otherwise it'll unsubscribe and I'll miss you. Also, if you click the like button and the notification button, it will tell you when I next upload a video. So without any further ado, let's get ourselves printing some spare parts for a Kenner toy which deserved better. Let's repaint, repair, and reprint. Let's get on this. Okay, so the cockpit of this Slave 1 ship was absolutely wrecked. It was in about 20 pieces, and somehow I managed to, with a bit of super glue, I managed to glue it all back together. But yeah, it was so yellow and so smashed, there's no way this would ever look any good. So what I did was, I glued it all back together, I sanded it, I then painted it with a nice sort of like matte silver, so it wasn't totally reflective, but it had a nice gloss to it. And now what I'm doing is I'm painting it with some UV resin. This is resin I usually use for 3D printing, but what you can do is if you've got something which has been cracked and there's all kind of holes all over it, if you paint it with a layer of UV resin, cure the resin, and then you sand it down, you can then basically use UV resin as a filler. It's also really good for getting rid of really bad layer lines. If you've got really bad layer lines on a piece, you can paint it over smoothly and then you can cure it, and it just takes away the edge. Then sand it, and yeah, it gives a nice smooth finish eventually. So I'm going to do 3 or 4 layers of resin, sanding between each one, and hopefully then we'll have a nice shiny finish. It's never going to be transparent again, but I think it'll look good. So let's put this under the UV light and we'll go from there. Okay, it looks like somebody has put new stickers on this over the old stickers, which is a bit stupid, but hey, never mind. So we're going to take these off, and hopefully I can save these and use them later to actually make the vehicle look a little bit more authentic. Let's see if we can do that. Right, with the other parts washed and sprayed, it's time to spray the 3D printed parts. As the PLA I used is white, we're going to have to do 3 or 4 layers on this to get them to the same colour as the other parts, otherwise they're going to stand like a sore thumb. So yeah, let's do a few spray coats on this to get it nice and colour matched. Okay, with that partially reassembled, it's time to attach the 3D printed parts. First bit to go on is the fin. Now this one should just clip on. I mean, it's going to be a tight squeeze because it's not as soft a plastic as the original one, but just give it a squeeze and pop. There we go. Ah, it's a lovely fit and that looks absolutely great. Now, next part to go on is this gun. And it should just pop on there, but it seems a little bit tight, so I'm going to leave that for a bit, and I'm going to try heating it up and see if we can't get it to fit without breaking the original part. Right, next thing to fit is the ramp. Now this should just easily pop in here using bits either side. I printed this ramp at 100% infill, so it's strong because this is going to be bending around a lot. And yeah, just pop the 2 supports either side into the slots. Just making sure I don't break either the original model or the 3D printed part. There we go. And there we are, that should push down and lift it up. And it should clip into the 2 squares either side. And yep, there we go. And then we've got the side part panel. So that's just slip in the side here and pop in. How's that look? Okay, yeah, that's really, really good. I can heat those up later on and make sure they bend around, right? But yeah, with the side panel and the fins and the gun attached, this thing is looking absolutely lovely. I'm very happy with this. Now, finally, oh god, look at that. That was absolutely ruined in yellow. So yeah, I'm going to pop this on. And yeah, the resin I've coated it with also makes it really quite strong as well. So I don't have to worry about cracking it anymore because the resin should hold it together. So pop that on. Got a nice shine. Oh god, look at that paint line. Right, that needs to be repainted. But other than that, this is looking lovely. I'll heat up those 3D parts and make sure they pop into place properly. But at the moment, I'm very, very happy with that. That looks absolutely beautiful. Yep, and yeah, it tilts. The mechanism still works. Sides come out. And yeah, the cop still goes down. And there we are. The ramp pops up and down as well. Yeah, that's really going to need a bit of sanding just to make sure that fits in there snugly. But other than that, yeah, that is absolutely great. I'm very, very happy with the way this has turned out. Absolutely beautiful. Next up is reapplying the stickers. So yeah, these were vinyl printed stickers which somebody has bought and then for some reason stuck them over the original stickers, which were all terribly ruined, so they didn't stick properly. So yeah, I'm going to attach these, use a little bit of super glue just to make sure they adhere. But yeah, they seem to have gone absolutely fine. Now the last piece I'm missing is the Han Solo in Carbonite. Now this is very hard to find online, so I have downloaded somebody's lovely file. Links in the description below as always. And yeah, here we go. Let's see how we can make this look. Okay, fun fact, while I was printing out the turret gun at the back here, I actually found an original turret gun in a box upstairs. So yeah, I haven't had to use the 3D printed gun. I mean, the 3D printed gun turned out lovely, as you can see, it's pretty much identical. But hey, this is an original vehicle, so I want to use as much original parts as I can. So yeah, I saved that and I've replaced it with the original. And with all those parts fitted, that is the Slave 1 complete. I've got the basic stickers on there. I've got a few original stickers as well which I managed to salvage, and ones I couldn't have been replaced with vinyl. The cockpit is as repaired as it could be, and the ramp and the side door are absolutely perfect, as well as the side fin. So yeah, this thing's looking a lot better. The colour's nicer, it's got a nice feel to it. I've managed to rescue as many of the stickers as I possibly could. Some of these are, turns out, were replacement stickers. The guy who obviously owned it before me had not removed the old stickers, just stuck new vinyl stickers over the top. so they just looked terrible. He never bothered even cleaning it. This thing stank of cigarettes and dust, and yet I just stuck brand new stickers over the top. Don't understand why, but it did mean that I could take them off, wash them off, and reuse quite a few of them. So yeah, it's looking nice. Some of them were too damaged to bother reusing, but yeah, the main ones were good, especially this big one here and the one on the front. They're the two I really wanted. The rest of them are just nice extra details. Now, the 3D printed parts. We've got the ramp here. That's a lovely design. It just goes up and down and it slides back and forth. It is perfect. Just comes straight off like so. And just clip it back in, pop it back in. There we go. And it just pops down. And there we go. Nice and smooth. We've also got the side panel here, which I've repainted and put a few extra stickers back on. That easily just clips back on. If I can see it from here. Slips back in. And there we go. Oh, lovely. Fits in beautifully. And all sits in fairly nicely. And the nice thing about PLA is if you print it and it doesn't quite fit, you just heat it up with a hairdryer and you can bend it into shape and get it to basically be the right fit again. So yeah, it works out very, very nicely. The tail gun, I did print a 3D printed tail gun, but then I was digging around in a box of old stuff I had in the cupboard and actually found I did actually have one of the missing guns in a box. So yeah, I've actually put the original one back on, because why would you use a 3D printed one when you have the real one? But you can 3D print it and it looks just as nice. I just like a bit of originality on here. The other thing that I did was the glass here. That was smashed, but all the pieces were still in the box it came in. It didn't come in the real box, just came in a cardboard box. But yeah, all the pieces are there. So I painstakingly glued this thing back together, painted it with UV resin, sealed the UV resin, then sanded it, and then sprayed some silver over the top because it was yellow and disgusting. It would never have looked good. So yeah, even though you can't see through it anymore, it's still the original piece. And quite frankly, I prefer having the original piece than basically an ugly looking one or reordering one. So yeah, it takes one of the little play features out of it, but I'm quite happy with the silver. I think it looks quite smart. And finally, we have got the missing paddle. Exactly the same as the other paddle. And yeah, this thing is great. Printed out beautifully. This one needs some supports because it's got some stuff under it which won't print flat on the bed. But yeah, play feature works perfectly. You tilt it, it all works over. And tilt it, pull the little trigger underneath, and yeah, it stays up until you release it and it goes down. So yeah, that is absolutely great. Sprayed it over with some lovely matte, kind of an off beige, so it matches the colour it was originally, because this was a disgusting colour. It was sort of a nasty 20-a-day smoker's yellowy green. It was disgusting. And if you put your hand on it, you could lift it because it was so damn sticky. So yeah, a scrub, a spray, re-put the stickers on, and this thing looked beautiful. So yeah, 3D printing. If you have got a broken, damaged old Star Wars toy or any kind of playset, check out Thingiverse, check out 3D Cults, have a look around, check out some of the message boards. I guarantee you'll find somebody who has printed some of the parts that you need. And if you're good at design, you can even make your own parts. And yeah, rescue things like this from the dustbin. Don't throw these away. Don't chuck them on a car boot sale and sell them for 5p because they're broken. Repair, repaint, reprint. Almost like a mantra. Almost like a go on a t-shirt. There's an idea. Anywho, thank you so much for watching 3D Printed Soup. This was my favourite toy as a child. Now, earlier I did say that there was a little bit of a problem with the 3D prints and getting the files. Basically what happened is I had seen a guy on there. Details below, see link. He does great work. I've used some of his stuff before. In fact, I've used some of his prints in my How to Spot a Fake Kenner Star Wars gun. There's a link here somewhere. You'll see it. Now, he had created these files, and they're lovely and they're perfect. Problem is, a lot of people have taken them from Thingiverse and they're then printing them and selling them for profit. That's not cool, guys. If somebody else does the work, don't profit from it. Design your own, sell your own, that's fine. If somebody paid you to print them, that's fine. Do not print them yourself and then sell them on a shop. It's not a nice thing to do. Artists need to get paid as well. So yeah, he'd taken the prints down and said he was never ever going to upload them again for free, which is absolutely fine. So I went to his Etsy shop and bought them myself. I don't often buy 3D files because there's so many wonderfully talented people giving them for free, but these were so good. He'd had such a hard time with people pirating his stuff. I felt like it needed to be done. So yep, check out his Etsy shop below if you need them as well. They're cheap, they're easy, they're about a £5, and they make your broken, missing parts look absolutely perfection. So thank you so much, Scott, and cheers for the chat. We had a really nice discourse over Thingiverse. So yeah, if you need these things, jump on there, print them out. Don't ask me to send them to you because I won't. Buy them yourself, use them, and everyone will be happy. Thank you so much for watching 3D Printed Soup. Stay happy, stay safe, keep printing.